Good evening, everyone. We are in the second week of our system administration uh, module. So, uh, so first of all, Happy New Year. Uh, so today we are going to focus on uh, user authentication, like using Active Directory. So these are the things we are going to focus today. So let's start our uh, lesson. Okay. So let me share my screen. First, I will recap what we did last week. So we identified a system uh, as an independent group of items working together to achieve a common purpose that we identified as a system, a group of items working together to achieve a common purpose. An example for a system is human body. Right? So in our human body, there we have many systems: digestive system, circulatory system, likewise. Right? So when we think about our circulatory system, it consists of blood cells, uh, the veins, and heart. Right? All of them working together to pump blood throughout our body. Right? So that is a system, a group of items working together to achieve a common purpose. Right? Then IT system, an IT system is the same, right? So it is, or in IT system we have hardware, software, networks, and processors. Processors, they work together to process, store, and distribute information to support decision making, business operations, and communications within the organization. Right? So that we call as an IT system. So then the system administrator. So system administrator is the person who is responsible for the company's entire IT infrastructure, right? So entire IT infrastructure means hardware, software, operating systems, network, like everything, right? So he is the person responsible for administrating the entire IT infrastructure, right? To become an uh, to become an system administrator, you need to have an idea about desktop troubleshooting, the operating systems, uh, server operating systems, client operating systems, then uh, managing users, virtualization, some idea about networking, and automation and script, right? Right. So last week we discussed about uh, the virtualization. We discussed about the start our discussion about virtualization. Today now I'm going to focus on this uh, user access management to access permission uh, management with Active Directory. So last week also we discussed about a server. So what is a server? We identified a server as a software or a machine that provides services to other software or machines. As an example, a web server uh, stores and serves content to clients to the internet. So last week you can remember we have installed Windows Server in a virtual machine, and we configured our server as a web server, and we hosted an application in the IIS server, right? Right. And uh, we discussed that any computer can be a server, but typically servers are running 24/7. So theoretically, any computer can be a server, but in the actual scenario, the servers are running 24/7. So they have to be available, right? They have to be available 24/7, right? So therefore, server computers require powerful and reliable hardware, right? Uh, and server hardware can come in a lot of different forms. This is what a server computer looks like. So what is an operating system? What is an operating system? An operating system is a collection of software that manages computers, hardware, and applications by allocating resources such as memory, CPU, input-output devices, file storage, etc. Popular operating systems are Windows, Linux, Mac OS, right? And we can divide operating systems into two: client operating systems and server operating systems. Server operating system is an operating system that is designed to run on servers, right? So these operating systems uh, has necessary features and subsystems to operate in a client server architecture and serve client requests, right? And unlike client operating systems, server operating systems is optimized for stability, security, and remote administration, right? Then common server operating systems are Windows Server and Linux server operating systems. Linux server operating systems are Red Hat. Examples are Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu server. The virtualization is the process of creating a virtual version of computing resources. The process of creating a virtual version of computing resources, such as servers, storage, networks, memory, likewise. That means, like as an example, I took last week the e-commerce example, right? You have a business, e-commerce business. So you have one particular system to sell your items. Then you have another system uh, for your inventory management. So rather than so since you have two separate applications, you need two servers to host these two applications. But rather than purchasing another server, what you can do is you can create a virtual machine in your existing server, two virtual machines in your existing server, and then it will work as two separate computers, right? So that is virtualization. So virtualization maximize hardware efficiency, reduce costs, and enhances uh, flexibility and improve disaster recovery. So what is a virtual machine? A virtual machine is an a virtual machine emulate an entire physical computer, including the hardware, CPU, memory, storage, and etc. So it is an emulation of a actual computer, right? So when we think about the architecture of a virtual machine, right, we have the physical hardware. Then on top of that, we have the hypervisor. So using that hypervisor, we create virtual machines, right? Hypervisor software. Then using that hypervisor software, we create virtual machines, right? There is two type of hypervisors, bare metal and hosted, right? So bare metal means it will directly run on the hardware. As examples are VMware ESXi or Microsoft Hyper-V. In the server computer, if it is bare metal, we install the hypervisor software, right? Hypervisor software like Microsoft Hyper-V or VMware ESXi, right? Then using that software, that uh, using that we can create virtual machines, right? By allocating uh, memory, GPU, RAM, likewise. Other type of virtual machine was hosted ones. That means there is the physical server, physical hardware. On top of that hardware, there is the operating system. On top of that, we have the hyper software like Microsoft Virtual, Oracle Virtual Box, right? Using that software, we create virtual machines, right? So that we call as hosted. Uh, Discussed, we created the one virtual machine and installed the Ubuntu operating system, and we learned some Linux commands. Then we learn about the server operating systems. Uh, we have installed Windows Server. We make it as uh, a, a web server, right? We make it a web server and hosted an application in the we hosted an application in that server, right? Right. So that's what we did last week. Now let's move to our today's topic: user and group management. Imagine we are the IT department. We are working in the IT department in a bank. Kamal is working as a teller. Right? Teller means, let's say, he is the person who is doing that uh, cash collecting and depositing things, right? So, um, so what do you think? He, whether he should be able to access internet or uh, whether he should be able to plug USB devices to his office computer. No, right? So that things should be prohibited, right? Because otherwise, uh, the sensitive information can get leaked, right? Then there's another person who is working in the IT department, right? Whether, what do you think? Whether he should be able to access internet? Yes, because he is the person who is responsible for developing software solutions for the bank, right? So obviously he should be able to access internet, right? So so you can see the as a system administrator, it is our responsibility to allow permissions to other users. So what we are doing is some kind of a centralized authorization, authentication and authorization. And so in the Microsoft server, the option we have for that is Active Directory. So Active Directory is a directory service developed for Microsoft for Windows domain networks. So it acts as a central repository for managing users, computers, and network resources. So it has centralized management, user authentication and authorization, resource management, and group policy management. So let's take an example, hypothetical example, and understand this concept. So take this example. There is a company as ENC Tech Solutions Private Limited, and you have been hired as a system administrator for this tech company, ENC Tech Solutions Private Limited, right? So the company, the company needs from you, the company needs IT infrastructure support to support its operations, So, right, this is the company structure. This is the company structure. So the company has two departments, HR department and the IT department. So since this is a small company, we have two employees. The HR is Miss Sarah, and so she's the HR manager, and there's a software developer. He's Mr. Chamit, right? Right. So as a system administrator, you are my from the company's perspective, what I want is these things: a secure, centralized login system for employees. So your task as the system system admin is create a small network with three virtual machines. One is the server and two clients, right? So then one will be an Active Directory, and there will be two client computers, right? So then there is two users, Chamidu and Sarah. Sarah should be able to access, let's say, uh, employee records, but Chamidu should be able to access code repositories, right? Likewise, I want to give these privileges for these particular users, right? So let's see how we can do this. So this will be the network diagram of the system. We have created a server computer using the virtual box. So now I want to create two client computers and use this server as our Active Directory. So first I will go to settings and rename this server as ENC server, right? Okay. Then I am creating a new virtual machine as ENC client, right? I will give 4 GB RAM and two CPUs and enable E5. Then I will add memory as 60 GB and preallocate full screen, full size, and create a new virtual machine. Now I am going to install Windows 10 operating system in this virtual machine, right? So uh, here I make this shared clipboard bidirectional and make the remove floppy from the boot order and make optical the first priority. And here in the optical drive, I'm selecting the Windows 10 ISO file. Right? Okay. So after that, I can give a normal start. So Windows 10 is uh, starting to install. So select the language and you can simply install the operating system. So if you have the product key, you can give the product key. If you don't have, currently, as I don't have product key, then install Windows 10 Home. We go with custom installation. Here select offline account. Then here they are asking for a user name. Right? Here you might get confused. What type of name should I give? There are two types of users: local users and domain users. Our intention is to give this computer to HR person, but we are not giving here. When we install this operating system, we will not make uh, we will not give his name as the username. So we will give a general name like ENC client. So this is a client computer. That is the local user. Then in our Active Directory, we create a new user as our HR lady was Sarah. We create a new user in our Active Directory. That user we call as a domain user. Then when we connect with this, when we connect this client machine with the Active Directory, the domain users can uh, access this machine. We create Sara in our Active Directory, not as our local user. The local user is, we can give a name as let's say ENC client. This is a client computer in the company, right? Hope you understood. I will give the name as just ENC. Right? And I will give a password. Let's say simple one ENC 123. Right. 1 2 right. Right. So it's asking some security questions. Right. So the operating system got installed, right? So I have created one virtual machine, but now I want to create two virtual machines. So I will, rather than creating a new one, I will create a clone of this uh, VM. Right? So I will clone it in a different uh, drive. Like that, we can create a clone. So now we have the three uh, computers. I will rename this as uh, instance client 1, then rename this as ENC client 2, right? Right. Now I want to open my server and configure it as the Active Directory domain server. Start as a normal start. And yeah, you can give the password and log into the server computer. So I'm using the same uh, virtual machine we created last week, right? So this was the virtual machine we created, right? Now I want to configure this as the Active Directory domain server. So I have opened the server manager. I want to rename the server as ENC server. Here, click change, and we will change the computer name as ENC server. And so click OK. So it will ask to restart the computer. So you can restart. Now, now I want to uh, assign an IP address for this server. Using IP addresses is by the devices communicate. We can assign an IP address to any device with a network port, right? So we can assign IP addresses to routers, switches, computers, mobile phones, for even to our even to mobile phones as well. Right? For any device with the network port, we can assign an IP address, right? So if you can remember, uh, there are four type of uh, five class five classes uh, for IP addressing. Class A, B, C, D, E. We select an IP range and using subnetting, okay, uh, IP addresses to the devices. And so in a real world, let's take an example. Right? What if, right? Let's say uh, we have an application, right? Uh, so we have in our, let's say in our bank, we have some application. So we have the front end part, front end application, and front end is communicating with the back end, and we have the database servers, right? So front end server, back end server, and the database server. So from these three, what do you think is the most important layer? Most important layer. Obvious, it's the database layer, right? So, so, so into our front end, everybody should be able to access the front end. In the application, everybody should be able to access the front end. So we give that server the internet access, right? So the the from the users from the outside the organization can communicate with that server. Then we have the backend server, right? So we so backend server will have an IP address, and frontend server will have an IP address. Then the backend server we give, like, we assign the permissions to the backend server. It should only be accessed using the 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 it should uh, be able to access only by the front end server. So we write a firewall rule there. So by only allowing to access this backend server for this particular IP, right? So, so we allow only for that particular IP to access the backend server. So users from the outside will not be able to access, right? Then the database server, we write code for the database servers, right? Uh, we like the database server should only be able to access with the backend service, right? So as you can see, our database servers are in a different range, backend servers are in a different range, and front-end servers are in a different range. Therefore, we can uh, implement firewall rules, right? So I will assign an IP address for this server, right? So go to network sharing center, then go to change adapter settings, then right click on your active network and click properties. Right. Then go to TCP Internet Protocol version 4. Then go to properties and we can assign an IP address for this server. So let's assign something as 192.168.1.10. And you can keep these things empty. Then click OK. Now let's configure this as our Active Directory domain service, right? So go to roles and feature wizard and click next. Then role-based installation uh, and install Active Directory domain services. So since I have already installed this last week, right? Right. Now I want to promote this server to a domain control. To do that, go to this flag icon. So it will show with the yellow triangle. So click on this and promote this to a domain control. Then select add a new forest. Um, then here select add a new forest. Then we can give the domain name. Can give a domain name as, let's say, enctech dot local. To this domain we will connect our two uh, clients, right? I will give a password. So ignore this DNS warning and continue next. Then this server will get promoted to our Active Directory domain server. Okay, so computer needs to restart. Okay, restart the computer. Now I will try to create two users. So go to Active Directory users and computers. Here I have the domain like enctech.local. Right click in the domain controller and add new uh, organizational unit. So we have two units, IT unit and the HR unit. So we will create two units. Uh, right. So the users will be belong to units, organizational units. So in our example, we have two units, IT department and the HR department. IT department will have a one user and the HR department will have another user. Right? So I'm creating a unit, right? So I will name it as HR, then create new organization unit. Uh, it's for IT, right? Then under that organization unit, I want to create the users, right? So right click on this HR OU organization unit and create new user. So her name is Sarah. So, her login name will be sarah@tngtech.local. Right? Click next. Then I will give her a username, a password, right? I will give her a password. So this password will be asked to uh, 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 asked to change when Sarah tries to log in to her computer for the first time, right? So this as system administrator, I am giving the password to Sarah. So I will give a simple password. Click next. Right. So then I will create another user in the IT OU. Create new user. So his name will be Chamru. Right. So and I will give a password. Mm, right. I have created two users. Now I want to give the permissions for different users. What I want to do is something like uh, for a IT person, I want to create a shared folder, shared drive, right? shared drive means the drive is actually in the server, in this server computer. The memory will be in the server computer, and the HR or the IT department person should be able to access that shared folder, right? Shared folder. But HR department should not be able to access that shared folder. And I want to restrict uh, control panel for to accessing control panel for HR users, right? Then I want to block USB devices as well, right? Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Go to group policy management. Search here as um, group policy management, right? Right. So we have a forest as enc.log. Here, go to the domain enc.tech.local, and so go to the HR or organizational unit and right click and go to create a group policy object in this domain, right? Right. So this group policy, let's name it as HR policy. Right. So, so in HR, now I have a group policy as HR policy, and in IT, let's create a group policy object as uh, IT policy. Tick. Okay, now I have HR policy object. Now right click this policy object. Uh, okay, now uh, go to edit and go to user configuration. Uh, Policies, then go to administrative templates, and you can see we have the control panel, right? Select it, and um, so here here you can see guys, option as prohibit access to control panel and PC settings. So click on that and make it enable. So I want to prohibit accessing uh, uh, control panel for HR users, the users in HR domain. For the users under HR OU will not be able to access control panel now. With IT personnel, I want to uh, create uh, uh, mm, let's say a shared uh, a shared drive, and I want to block USB devices for IT personnel. Go to uh, uh, right click on IT policy, click edit, go to computer configuration, then uh, under policies, go to uh, administrative templates, then uh, go to system, systems, yeah, then go to removable storage access, then you can select uh, all removable storage access, deny all access. So there is an option as all removable storage access, denying all access. So enable that policy, right? So then IT uh, uh, department personnel will not be able to like access USB or devices. Any removable storage access will be uh, denied. Right. Now again, now I want to do something like this, right? I want to create a shared folder. So the shared drive, go to File Explorer. I will simply create a folder. Mm, so I will create the C drive. Um, so I will create a folder as dev tools and go to properties, right click and go to properties, and sharing and click share. Right. Now I want to share this with let's say Samidu. So click OK. So I have shared this folder with this user. So I want to allow him full control. So, right now click OK. Apply the changes. So go to group policy management. Then I want to create another group policy under IT. So, let, let's name it the food policy as map dev map dev tools dev tools drive. Click OK. Right now, let's edit it for the policy and go then uh, select user configuration and preferences, Windows settings, and select drive maps. Just select new drive map drive and uh, then, uh, location is the dev tools. Mm, Dev tools. Dev tools. So, um, then here select create. Alright, okay. So now I have configured the uh, my uh, Active Directory domain service. So what I have done is for the HR users, I have blocked the control panel, and for the IT personnel, I have created a new drive as dev tools, and I have blocked USB access for the IT personnel. Right now, I want to connect my uh, client PC with this Active Directory domain server. Okay, so let's see how can I do that. So I will close this and uh, minimize this, and I will start the client computer. So I have logged into the client computer as a local user, which I created as EMC. Right now, uh, I will assign an IP address to this particular uh, computer and connect this with our domain server, right? Connected with the domain server. Go to settings. uh, Go to about, and I will try to change the name. So rename this PC. We'll rename this as uh, ENC client. So we'll ask to restart the PC. So give it a restart. So then I will try to assign a IP address for this PC. So go to network and internet settings. Then, uh, go to change. Go to change adapter settings and right click in that to network and go to properties. Then let's assign an IPv4 address. So I will assign an IP as 192.168. Let's say 130.9. Now 168.1.9. So and the preferred DNS server is the yes 192.168.1.10. Right. Right. Mm, yeah. So so uh, so now I want to check whether uh, this PC can communicate with ENC server compute, right? But uh, but when you try to run these two computers, since it's taking your hardware resources, it will your PC might get stuck. Your PC, unless your PC has like uh, a very good performance, your PC will get stuck. Right? So since I have already configured my server, I do not want to give it a full start. I can give it a headless start. So, the server will be running in the background. The processes will be running in the background. So let's give it a headless start. Start, give it a headless start. Right? Then go to uh, uh, the client computer and open the command, and let's check whether can we communicate with our server computer. Right. open the command prompt and ping, make a ping. Right? Last week we did the ping command, right? So we will make a ping uh, request to the server computer. So ping this IP address 192.168.1.10. That's our server IP address, uh, right? So let's check whether this client computer can communicate with the server. Okay. Uh, right. Uh, okay. It successfully got pinged. So that means the server computer, uh, so we are able to communicate with the server. Mm, okay. So, add this to the add this PC to the domain enc tech.local domain. So when you install Active Directory on a server, it will by default will install the DNS server as well, right? Right. Then the client, when I configure this uh, in that domain, it will automatically register their IP addresses with that DNS server, right? Uh, like uh, right. When I when you install Active Directory on a server, it will install and configure DNS server too, right? DNS server is for configuring IP addresses, right? So with the domain names, right? So uh, when a client register in the particular domain, so the IP addresses automatically will register in that domain server, right? Then dynamically this DNS will get updated, right? So that's what will happen. So here click change and make this PC a member of a domain. So here pick domain and give the domain name. The domain name is click OK, and it will ask to give the username and password. uh, Enter the name and password of an account with permission to join the domain. So it's asking the admin username and password, right, of the admin username and password of the server computer. So I will give that username and password. The name of the admin user was ENTech administrator, and the password. Right? Okay, so now this PC got configured in that entech.local domain, right? So it's asking you must restart this PC to apply the changes, right? Okay. Now restart the PC. Okay. Now it's showing me uh, another option to login. I have the local user and I can now login as a domain user as well. So here select other user and give the let's first try to login as uh, Chamuk emp slash Changu. Then give the password assigned. Right. So it's saying the user password must be changed before login. So I have changed the password and okay, the password has been changed. And let's check whether the privileges we given was granted. Right. So go to this PC, right? You can see in for Chamidu, for the IT user, it's showing a, a network location as well, right? A network drive, right? Right, right. So I can add delete folders of content to this drive, right? But this is actually the files will be stored in the server computer. This is just showing, but actually the memory will be allocated the in our server because I actually created that drive in the server, right? Okay. Right. So now let I try to log in as Sarah. So, I will restart this PC and I will give the temporary password. Okay. Now I have the password could change and I have login as Sarah, right? Mm, right. So to Sarah, I prevented, I restricted the access of the control panel. Let's see whether she is able to access the control panel. So no. So it's showing an error as this operation has been uh, cancelled due to restrictions in effect. Contact your system administrator. So as the system administrator, I have uh, restrict access to the control panel for the HR users, right? So that's what the error message says. So that is how we can implement the centralized user management with uh, uh, with Active Directory domain services, right? As a system administrator. If you are focusing on a career as a system administrator, there are some, these are the professional exams you should take, right? So this exam will be cost like like will cost around I think 400 USD or something like that. So 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 this will give So if you're focusing on career in system administration, so you will be needing to uh, get some kind of this kind of a professional certificate, right? So I find this course very helpful. So if you can purchase this course and do. And from next week, we will move to the Linux environment as well. Okay, so hope everything is clear. So let's wind up for today then, right? Okay, thank you very much.